meeting with the Joint Security in Nima. She's here to brief the press today. Man, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you to all of your media practitioners that are here.
You've been away for a while.
Well, thank you. Yes, I want to represent the local government along with other female superintendents at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. It's commonly called the CSW. We are a member state and we join the Honorable Minister of Gender, Madam Kwame Horace Colley, to be able to give our own position and our own support and solidarity as Liberian women when it comes to the issue of gender-based violence, when it comes to the issue of fighting FGM and other forms of gender-based violence. So it was a very rewarding time and experience, a time that renewed our internal advocacy for women. And I'm glad that we had a seat around the table.
Thank you and welcome. Let's quickly go to the meeting you held today at the administrative building. You met with the security agencies within your county. Could you mind telling us more?
Well, yes, as chairperson on the County Security Council, we do have routine meetings. We should be having them. This one is especially important when we are in a time where there can be panic, there can be misinformation, people are curious. There's been situations along another county's border. So I was just speaking with them, getting feedback from their own professional work, also giving my own input, and also looking at our county, where do we stand? Do we stand vigilant and making sure that we are making our citizens aware of the right things to do, and letting our citizens know that all instruction comes from the central government, that people should look up to the central government. We have a very responsible government. We have a very, very prepared head of state, and that security issues should not be things that people are just making loose comments about. This is our major concern. We don't want people making provocative comments on the radio, analysis. Most of the people making these comments are weak. Most of them took part in a war many years ago. We do not want people saying, for example, if they think on Nima, it will not be like this. Those statements are provocative. It has the propensity of endangering lives. We want our people to remain peaceful and to allow central government give the good leadership is continue to provide.
So in a meeting, what did they tell you, the Joint Security? I know you can't go in detail, but just in summary, what did they tell you?
That Nima is fine, like the rest of the country, but Nima is prepared in terms of being proactive with safety, that we are keeping our ears open. We are watching our borders. You know, Nima got the most borders when it comes to any county, especially bordering two countries. We have about 52 borders between Nima. When you take the borders with Ivory Coast and Guinea combined, that most of those borders are secure, and that our people have been peaceful. You can recall 2 days ago, many of our citizens were concerned because you have the General Kamara allegedly involved with the crossing over to Lofa, entering at the Nimasa, but with a peaceful message. We were told that, oh, we are neighboring countries, we should work together. His message was one with peace. And yesterday, some people also complained in early morning hours not being able to cross the border, but we got to understand that the readjustments in schedules. So we want our people to just be peaceful, to continue to use the proper border routes when they go across borders, to be very peaceful, to avoid making statements that have the propensity to cause trouble, and just always look up to the central government. The central government is there, and they were making sure that the best interest of this country is taken care of.
Okay, Madam Superintendent, my name is Imara Freme from RFM Radio. People are concerned. You, as the head of the county, when it comes to local government, and chair of the Security Council of the county, where foreign or security operators are crossing what to our borders, and then as a certain nation, what does that mean to us? Because Liberia is not a colony, Liberia is a republic, where we have a government sitting, and both crossing coming to our end. What does that mean to us as a certain nation?
Well, for Nimba, where I can speak, where I hear security, I know for a fact that we are yet to experience that. But we also know that we have a responsible government. We know that our country has a non-permanent seat at the United Nations. We know that this is a government that deals diplomatically with anything. All we are asking our citizens to do is to listen to the government, is to stop making inflammatory statements on radio, to start saying they have the ability to fight, and in the case of Nimba, it will be different. We want citizens to desist from that. Those are provocative comments. We want our people to continue to develop their county, to do their business peacefully. And you know, some time ago, I told the people in Nimba they didn't understand, especially the people of Senegal, when we had land-related issues with the military coming in, the barracks, and people had to move. We said we are counted at border two countries. And it's very important to have the National Army here, the benefit of having the National Army, the security it offers, the order it represents. To a larger extent, things are very well here, and we know that the central government has what it takes to protect our country. So let us stop being self-defenders. Let us stop making provocative comments. It's not in the interest of our county. We are focused on development. We are focused on taking our county forward.
My name is Victor Cooper, and also welcome back to Liberia and welcome in the county. The meeting today in the county, people are concerned to know whether you were the one who called a meeting or it is the Joint Security Nimba that invited you to be a part of the meeting. That's one of my questions. We're getting this information that as a chair on the Superintendent Council of Liberia, you are to visit Lofa County.
Yeah, so I am the one who called the meeting as I'm the chairperson. I'm not happy with our citizens making provocative comments. I denounced that. We should not be doing that. We should allow government to work. And I also wanted to get briefing from them and also understand if there has been engagement with citizens. We also had the traditional leaders, so they too in their respective areas are able to caution citizens. And I think the police too will be speaking about these kind of unwarranted statements. And yes, as chairperson of the Superintendent Council, some of my colleagues and I, it was supposed to be a surprise now, but you said it was supposed to make a surprise visit to see our colleague anytime soon in Lofa, just to lend support because we are one country and we'll understand that we know just as being superintendent that he has had to be there every day with all of the unfolding circumstances. So as much as I think that under control, we just want to go and visit with him and say, listen, we're together.
My name is Frederick, Voices from Nimba. Let me take you back a bit to the meeting you just came from, representing women of Liberia. What benefit women in the country stand to get? Secondly, you talk about different statements being made by Nimbayans and Liberians. At today's meeting, were there strict order? And if yes, what could be done in terms of those who are making statements are not healthy?
Well, so first of all, coming back from that meeting, whenever you know the mind is conscious, it's also always good to have consciousness, right? So we come with the consciousness that, listen, we have to do more when it comes to protecting our females, when it comes to the gender-based violence, when it comes to these fights. And we get to understand there's so much work that needs to be done. Nimba, like any other county, so we are happy to be there. We are happy that we'll come back, we'll sit with our gender people, We look at some of our cases and we are able to forge and push for women inclusion. Gender-based violence, I want you to know, it's not just, rape. It's not just physical. We got to see circumstances and scenarios where women spoke about gender-based violence in academia, for example. Some of you, your sisters, were not prioritized to go to school, but you went to school. Those women received that is gender-based violence in academia. Gender-based violence in leadership. In some counties and some areas, people don't want women leadership. People fight women leadership. People antagonize women being the head of the table. So some of us may be experiencing gender-based violence within leadership. So there are different aspects of gender-based violence. And we are going to be able to work as leaders now, making people understand these things. Coming back to the meeting, the first step is to engage our people. And this is what I'm doing as leader of the county with your own help as the 4th estate. And you on the radio a lot, you all can help me reinforce this. Stop making provocative statements. If that were us, if that were me, if that were Nima by now, no. Nima is not a country on its own. We take instruction and support from the central government that is doing its best to handle the issues, the conflicts in Lofa. So no provocative statements will be encouraged in our county or anywhere around here. It should be discouraged.
Madam Superintendent, 2 days ago at the Ganta-Guinea border, there was some security personnel that came from across the border from Guinea-Bissau at the bridge there between Liberia and Guinea. And people have been in Gompa, the commercial hub of our country. They have been living in fear that all the Guineans are crossing over to Liberia. And what we call from the chief of staff that came from across from Guinea himself, they have not come to have a peaceful engagement with Liberia, in that endeavor. So the head of the county and the council of the superintendent, or the council of the chair of the council of security. What can you say in regards to that? What can you tell the people who are living in Gompa, on your territorial or confined?
Well, we tell our people to continue to be peaceful, but to be very vigilant as well. We know we are neighbors. People come across, people go across. Now you have a military personnel, general, commander, but who say he can peacefully to give us good message. We're also cognizant of the fact that he has not visited here before, or never been here in many years. So we are aware. We're taking cues. As Security Council, we're not say a lot here, but we want you to know that our government is really, really responsive, and that our people should go about their normal business, and they should just be aware, they should just be vigilant, they should obey the rules, they should use the border lines when it's time to use it. And as you go across, avoid confrontation, avoid provocation. And as you said, you don't use your airtime to stay out there and make inflammatory statements. Let the government handle the security of its people.
Yeah, so man, so tapping from Emmanuel, where you talk about our business people being worried. There are also Liberian citizens abroad who are worried about the situation between the two countries. In your security meeting, what did the security say is the relationship between them and their Guinean counterparts?
Fairly so, on our end, we know it's good. Like I said, you brought good message. We know that the border time on their end, they say it has to be 8 o'clock and not 6 a.m. as it was previously, which for me is also a good thing for us to go there when it's daylight. Our people just have to observe it without presumptions and just be courteous. But we want our people to go ahead and do their development. We want our people to go ahead and do their business. We want our people to focus on ourselves, our livelihood, our county, and let's just not start making unnecessary inflammatory statements. And some of these people making these statements just want to cause tension for no reason. We will fight somebody in the fight 1990, they tired. But they were making these statements from beyond radio, and it's not healthy for us. We are not that county. We are re-imaging and repositioning our county so well, and Nima is known for development, and this is why we're focused on as Nimbayans.
Okay, so Madam Suba, I have interest in your going to Lofa. Do you mind telling us whether you have The Superintendent Council of Liberia will also cross to their counterpart to engage them peacefully like the government is doing?
No, I know we are visiting our colleagues. What happens there? We also like to pay a courtesy call on our men in uniforms,
Okay.
our men and women serving our country and border patrol. Just maybe thank them for everything they are doing and let them know they are extraordinary patriots and we are very proud of them. So it's just an eternal visit.
So on the contrary, we like to appreciate you for the recent delegation of projects in the county. I made a visit to Nembwe or recent. There is just the renovation of the Nembwe Public School. So we, after the coverage, we've been following 2 minutes commerce and communications are indeed a project. It is not the county administration project, but the LPRC project. I don't know whether you have a clarity.
Oh yes, it is. So what people don't know, as county superintendent, I'm the external relations officer. I'm the chief lobbyist of the county. So yes, it is a LPRC project, but LPRC did not sit in Monrovia and say, we saw one school looking in where man, let's go and help them. No, that lobbying came from my office. And that was actually done right here in Kansas when they had the annual retreat there. I don't know if any of these journalists covered it. They originally wanted to do the JWPSC auditorium, but the money they were putting forward could not do the hall. That hall needs to be rebuilt to be of standard. So I said, listen, let's focus on a smaller facility. And even the amount that they were putting out for like 15,000 still would not do them well. So I had to advocate and why NIMBA and advocate to almost 50,000 to have all of the buildings there renovated. And I would like to take this time to say a big thank you to Honorable Amos Twain and the board, the LPRC board that agreed with me, that listened to my appeal and took that as a social corporate responsibility. And today the project is ongoing. I want to say a big thank you to Honorable Tue and his people. Yes, it is a LPRC project. It was lobbied for by the county superintendent, and I would like to do more of that, because that's why I'm here for. I'm the chief lobbyist, I'm external relations. I go out there looking for opportunities, and then we're seeing to benefit. So yes, you can give the credit to LPRC, but yes, the money was even sent to the county to be placed there, to the contractor, the BOQs, and all was done by the county. That is our work. It is not about the glory. I just want to see the school done. And that's why we recommended the school. Originally, it should have been JWPSC.
This comment keeps coming over and again. Every time we attend program, dedication program, that the county administration is undertaking, people say, oh, KOU is misusing the county's money. These are some of the projects that should be done by central government. Manasu, what have you to say about that?
Yeah, but what I would say to my critics is I've still not gotten to see the projects that I approved to be done by the local government. Because someone will say, I heard somebody say, she's not supposed to bill for the police, she's supposed to buy chairs for the student. Like central government work with the police, and I wonder if that providing chairs is that for the Ministry of Education. So all of these are interconnected. When we talk about decentralization, we're telling the central government we need some responsibilities. We need to be able, all monies there are for the operations of the county. And where we have, there's no guidelines, there's no, I didn't say law, there's no guideline, even a guideline that we are violating when it comes to how we expend this money. Because it's for our people. There are ways where projects come about. We go through that at the district level, and we got the implementation. So do not mind the cynics. They will say the most, they will accomplish the least, because we are accomplishing more. That is transforming our communities, establishing government presence, rebranding our county, and giving our county its own place in the committee of counties in this country. And this is why we want our people to remain peaceful, to not be provocative, to not make statements that are inflammatory, that undermines our peace process. Support and listen to the central government.
And so, least I forget, the 20% of the county social development fund is extracted for affected communities. And Yamey is one of those that is most affected. Recently, the Yamey Development Council appeared on the radio calling for transparency in the implementation of these projects. They have said that from the onset of the bidding process involved the council, but awarding of the project to contractors, some of the contractors have already started, but they don't know how much these projects were awarded for, and these things are not explained, and they are calling for accountability.
So let me tell you, the 20% of the affected community projects, they were all set up before we got here, as far as I know. Because the 20% community-related projects, most of them have been on hold. I think before I was leaving, that when I had to authorize a few of them, been on hold for a very good reason. Because when we got here, we saw that Mita herself were implementing these projects. They were very much involved with the implementation, and that is wrong. On our public financial management laws, all monies, all development of the county is headed by the superintendent's office, that is headed by the executive. So we have said, listen, along with our NEMA legislative caucus, our caucus from the affected community, like, give our functions back to the county. For example, you got affected community project from 2022, 2023 that have not completed. Contractors have not gotten paid. Therefore, those projects are being abandoned. But look at the last time you were there on the road for the dedications of projects under this administration, the end of 2024 to 2025, you got almost 19 projects to be dedicated. That tells you that this government, this county administration, is equipped, is prepared to do projects within the affected community. So we have said no, come back and give us an accountability of what the status of affected community funding is, where the projects are, and the county will have to take full effect. So it was only recently before I left, they said, well, some of these projects, they met with us, the timeline has expired, we just have to review it so that our people in the affected community. But I can assure the affected community that as superintendent, we are now bringing the projects under the county. And they know if COE is implementing project in the affected community will soon look like cities. Because they have the money specifically. But where there was the bureaucracy, where our people did not have a say in much in what kind of projects to do, where contractors were not paid on time, you have projects coming from 2022, 2023, and we are in 2026, you will have that kind of frustration. And so, when you talk about monetary value, I wanted to know it is still kind of in the hands of Mark Africa and AML. So, it's just like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. As superintendent, I consider to hold them all since they are past projects. Sign it, let them go ahead and do it. But moving forward, our advocacy, our message, along with the affected community caucus, is the project come back to the county. You can tell us the county will manage 80% of our resources and somebody else manage 20%.
So the clarity is that all projects.
Yes.
Okay.
So going forward, the county administration is asking, we need a report on our affected community projects to begin with. And we want to be able to take it going forward. So those are the things that are on the table.
Thank you.
So in conclusion, in summary, let's hear from you. We can leave from you.
So I would like to say thank you to the Folk Estate, to all of your brothers and sisters who are not here. You are being the issue of peace is burning on all of us. And as media people listen to you daily, people listen to you, they read the things you work. I'm just asking all of you to join the county in asking our people, reassuring our people that we are an important country. We are on the United Nations Security Council. We have a seat to also let our people know that we have a responsible central government that that is working behind the scenes to ensure that our country remains peaceful and on the path of development. We have a president, His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boyka Sr., who is very experienced and who is working for us. So we do not need provocative statements. We do not need statements that are anti-peace. We do not need daring comments. We are bordering two Francophone countries. our security matters. Let us all take caution. Let us do our work. Let us allow government to work, and let us abstain from making those kind of statements. We are here to focus on our development. This is an exciting time for us personally. NEMA will be getting involved with a lot of road work and kicking off soon. Once we can pass the budget, we'll be looking at possible investment in a NEMA investment bank where our business people will be able to have flexible loan, our women will have relief. We'll be looking at more development. So our county, like the rest of the country, is moving towards fast development. And so let us focus on peace and stay away from former giants making provocative statements.
I understand the struggle, but I'm a musician. And the first step is, the reason you see I want to get everybody involved is because I don't know what go on in the comedian area, or the vloggers, or the painters, or the movie, or the film. So let me just give you a brief. I don't believe every government that come into power or being, they don't love the entertainment. I believe the issue is those people who are in the proximity of those people, when they go there, they don't speak about the industry. They don't put the industry, they put their personal issue first. And that's been the reason. That's why we are where we are today. So we should be happy that this government, me, I'm a politician, I always say, I don't like politics. And I don't know, maybe in the future, human being, you never know. But as a creative, it hurts me that we are not respected in this country. People don't value entertainers, and people don't pay us what we worth. And those things are happening because we don't have serious leaderships. That's one. That's why I'm not saying you're not right now. That's what I'm saying. Before this thing works, we have to have a union. Everybody honor that union. Everybody, like Chimo said, you have to deal with the union. Most of the time, these people with opportunities, they will go to a group of people and say, I got this, I can do this. It shouldn't be like that. You come, this is what we want to do. You go to the Blogger Association. The government deal with that. You go with those people, you deal, because they have the data, they know what is going on. You go to the music union, you deal with those people. You go with the fashion, you deal with those people. That's what I believe. Me, I'm a musician. Up to now, a lot of us, we are not registered with the music union. And I asked the president a question. I said, listen, what will make your leadership different? Because we have had a lot of leaders every day, they come and say, oh, we'll do that one. Like the same thing. Me, and I register more than 2 times. Every leader that comes, we can register. So what are the benefits if you want people to register with their organization? What are those things they will benefit from? And you understand it as a musician, me, because I'm a musician, and so that's what I was asking. Likewise, the DJ. Because I told them, I say, we want to be part of the policy making. When the government is making decisions, let the entertainment, the creative people be part of it, because the creative space in other countries, they are major stakeholders. They are the ones that bring investment. They are the ones, if anything not working in Liberia, music and entertainment, comedy, and fashion. So it's a very important industry. So I'm happy that he gave us this opportunity. This is not for me. I'll be straight. I will tell you straight. Since this position was given to me, I have not even met the Papa yet. You know why I haven't met him yet? Because I said I wanted to have meeting with everybody, understand the things they are facing, that they are affected with. Then we can come together. We go to Anthony. Anthony, what is the reason that people are not registering with the Blogging Association? It is a responsibility to unite everybody from the blog, get everybody. The creative, the content creators, do they have a union? If they don't have a union, what can we do? How can we get them together to have their own rules and regulations and, and their leadership? The pageantry, the writers, okay, Now we have all those things. What are the important things? Like Chimo said, we can't run everything now. The first step, the first 6 months or the 1 year, what are those things we want to do? What are those important things that are affecting the union? We put all of them together, and we put them in, put a plan together, the bloggers, the content creators, the comedian, the musician, those important things, we put it together, then we can take it to the government, the president, not just the president, the vice president, and everybody will say, listen, these are the first important things that we need to be done. And I can promise you that they will listen. One thing I will tell you about me, like I said, everybody don't have to like me, but for people who know me, they will know that I'm a person who cares about the entertainment. I care about everybody, and I want everybody to succeed. And you understand it? So I understand your pain, chief. Even at me, say I can't go for meetings or that because at the same thing. And I understand why sometimes entertainers, when they call for meetings, they say regularly, we will do that one, but there is no implementation. But one thing I can promise you today, I will tell you, for anybody that know me, you know me, they may know me, SOK, everybody, I can move. I'm a mover. Then you understand it? I will knock at doors. You will not see it. There is a story. They said, there are three things. Either the person say yes or no, or let we just help the person because we tired seeing their face. That me and the person, what they will say, we tired seeing your face, so let we help him. And you understand it? But this cannot be successful if we are not united. That's one thing. And one of our major issues, anytime you go to people in position of power that have influence, they will say, you're not united. They say, because the other person will can't say they want, oh, they are causing each other, the person can't say anything about you, you're not united. Like they may say, we should have, I was telling somebody this morning, oh no, I don't want to be part of this. I said, listen to me. They don't say when you are part of a union, then you can't do your regular thing. And but the union is a governing body that will guard you, that will fight for you tomorrow. In case tomorrow somebody want to take advantage of you, that the same union that will go and be there for you and they will fight for you. And you understand it? So those are things. But as we are encouraging people too to be part of the union, the leadership also, they have to step up and say, hey, what are those benefits? So what I would say as presidents from here, and I know everybody will not work with everybody. If possible, we know that. And you understand it? But it's your due, it's your responsibility. And let me congratulate Anthony. I saw what he posted. And he said, all of us, we have to come together and be under one umbrella. So apart just from posting, Anthony, I promise I will love if you can pick up your phone. You call everybody. Mommy, what's the issue you have with me? I told somebody today, I said, listen, if you got issue with any leader and you are part of the union, you know what you do? During election, you lobby, you move the person from there. Simple. Allah, Romeo, that's it. If you have issue with them, or I know in your constitution they got impeachment there. So if you have issue, you say the men are doing it well, lobby now with all your friends who are, y'all go, y'all move them, the men will not refuse to be removed. And but I'm not, and I will make it clear. I want to help. This position, I'm going to show you the letter. This is, firstly, I came to show you the letter. All of y'all will see it. And because for me, I want to be transparent. You already saw it. You saw it. So you see it, you read the letter. It's a pro bono position. We don't have a budget for now. They're not paying me. It's a pro bono position for now. So everybody will see it. But I can promise you, nobody will send it to you. You will see it. I won't read it before you say it. The man reading different. You'll see it. But what I'm promising you is, I can promise you this. Lead the government, apart from government. Do you know what the government can do for, if even we don't take money from government, the government can back us to get money from private entities and businesses. And you understand it? Me, I believe that the money in the private entities more. Because we can come to tourism here, we get letter from the DG. I will go to the paper, we get letter from the paper. But these things cannot happen if we don't, in our house, we are not organized.
The newly appointed ambassador of entertainment of Liberia, Kobazi speaking to a couple of entertainers today when he visited the Tourism Authority office there too as well. I want to say good evening to all of you and welcome Vic Sibling to BKS TV and welcome to the HITAL program here on BKS TV. On the HITAL, we see dialogue in our confrontation. We see words in a bullet. The HITAL program comes your airway every Sunday through Monday beginning at 8 o'clock p.m. Liberia time to 10 o'clock p.m. Liberia time. We are very sorry for not coming to you yesterday due to some technical issues we had here. But thankfully, it has been resolved and we are back again on your FM. Now, I want to say welcome to all of you and welcome to today's edition of the Heat Hour program. Today is Monday, the 30th day of March, AD 2026. And I want to say welcome to all of you in a very special way. Those of you who are listening to us via radio, I want to say welcome to the show here, Vic Sealing. And those of you too who are also listening to us via Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and the rest of the social platform, I want to say welcome to the show here, Vex Evening too as well. We've gone approximately 29 minutes into the show here tonight. Let me just bring you a few updates across Liberia. Then we can bring on Mr. Sam Saros Balier Sr. so we can have some bit of discussion here tonight before we go. In a dramatic courtroom standoff happened today as the presiding judge at the Criminal Court C admitted photocopied checks into evidence in an ongoing corruption case involving former Finance Minister Samuel Tua and others. The admissibility has intensified scrutiny over the strength and fairness of the state's case. In a heated exchange on Monday, March 30, 2026, prosecutor pushed to have photocopies of disputed checks admitted into evidence despite failing to meet a key legal requirements under the best evidence rule in court. The defense counsel, Councillor Arthur Johnson, mounted a forceful objection, arguing that the state had not established that the original checks issued for the disbursement of funds to the FIA were lost, destroyed, or otherwise unavailable, a foundational step required before secondary evidence can be considered. The law is clear. According to Councillor Arthur Johnson, he argued before the court, you cannot rely on photocopies when you have not proven the absence of originals. That is not technicality. It is a safeguard against unreliable evidence. Recognizing the gravity of the dispute, Judge Usman Fiakat allowed extended oral arguments before retreating for a 1-hour recess to consider his ruling. When court resumed, Judge Fiakat overruled the defense objection and admitted the photocopied checks into evidence. In his ruling, the judge adopted a pragmatic stance, asserting that procedural errors should not prevent the prosecution from presenting its case unless those errors are shown to be materially prejudicial to the defendants. The burden on the state is higher and enormous, Judge Fiakat stated, emphasizing that such a burden should not be undone by procedural lapses that the defense cannot demonstrate as harmful. He concluded that the defense had failed to establish concrete prejudice arising from the prosecution's inability to prove the unavailability of the original checks. Without such a showing, he said, the court was compelled to allow the photocopies. That is from the Samuel Tua and other case too as well. Let's bring this one too. The Monrovia City Magistrate Court has convicted beauty queen Candace Wilson of simple assault and disorderly conduct, imposing a combined $375 fine after a public slap that sparked widespread campus chatter. She was, however, acquitted of the charge of menacing. Magistrate L. Ben Bracco ruled that the prosecutor failed to prove Wilson directly threatened complainant Jumel Cole, noting that no witness testified to hearing any threat from Wilson herself. A statement attributed to Wilson's sister, the court said, could not be used to transfer criminal liability, but the assault itself was indisputable. The court found that Wilson slapped Cole in a public setting on university campus, an act witnessed by several individuals. The incident left Coles embarrassed and widely recognized as the girl that was slapped. Wilson's public apology was also cited as acknowledgement of her depraved conduct. The court imposed the following penalties payable within 48 hours: $300 for simple assault or 3 months imprisonment, $75 for disorderly conduct or 21 days imprisonment. The sentence run currently. In addition to the fines, Wilson has been ordered to publish a formal apology to Coles in three leading newspapers no later than April 3rd, 2026, and submit proof of publication to the court. And so that's it here too as well. This one, before we go to Mr. Sam in the back, the House of Representative leadership session agenda features the explosion request against Representative Yeke Koluba, listed on an item business on the speaker deck, count B. What are we expecting to see, or what are we expecting to hear? We will be looking up to the session 2 as well. 25 minutes up to 9 o'clock in Liberia. Mr. Gontopo Noah is watching us. Alex Elgman is also following us from Sanico. The Great Grace also following. Mario Kroma, as always, Mario is following. Moses Epe is watching us from Bone County. Maxwell Gonto is also watching us from Doe Community. Maxwell, welcome to the show. And Abraham Nyazi is also following us. It's the Legend is also following the show here this evening. Aloysius Alexander Tente Jr. is also following. I want to say welcome to all of you. Mr. Sam, good evening and welcome to the show this evening. How you doing, Chief?
I'm good, Junior. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Welcome. Let's hear you what's on your mind this evening.
Well, Junior, nothing much. Just it's great to be here and to speak to our people, our listeners and viewers around the globe. We just want to say many thanks for being online tonight. We look forward to having conversation with you.
Sam, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you now. Great. Welcome. Yes. Welcome to the show, Sam. So let's go to our first discussion here. The House of Representatives will be convening very soon. I think they had a leadership meeting today, March 30, 2026. And during that leadership meeting, we are not told what were discussed during the meeting, but we were privileged to have laid hands on the meeting agenda. And on the meeting agenda, if you check to Article 5, which is a business on the speaker decks, a communication came from Honorable Gregory Coleman, Inspector General of the Liberian National Police, about Honorable Yeke Koluba's statement. He said the statement goes against the conduct of Honorable Yeke Koluba, raising serious concern for national security and public safety and state stability. Now, the request for this was request for the expulsion of Honorable Yeke Koluba. This is a communication. At first, the communication was from Smoke Colley, but with the agenda we saw today, the communication came from Gregory Coleman. Now, I think I've asked you this question on the show earlier, and I also want to re-ask you. Do you think, because if you go through the session agenda, I think there were no major thing on the agenda today to be discussed, with the exception of this Yeke Koluba thing. And after that, they spoke of LPRC and China Union to address issue, blah, blah, blah. But with this Yeke Koluba thing, do you think the House of Representatives should expel Yeke?
Junior, I don't think so. Why it's true? Sorry. Why it's true that what Yake has been saying, I mean, whatever she said, again, I will still remain on my word. I want for Yake to come to the general public, to the Liberian people, and apologize and extend his apology to the Liberian people. Because, again, the piece of land we have is all we have. For a representative, sitting representative of a country to say the land is not for Liberia, to me, is ungrateful, it's disgraceful. No matter how we disagree with each other politically, no matter what brought him to political scene, no matter what words he had been using on the past and present presidents, for me, I don't care. It's how our politics is now. My only concern in this whole thing is I want to appreciate Yake attempting to give our land, the piece of land that God gave us, to another country. I think that we should push for nationalistic patriotism. Is what defines us as people, as Liberian. If you think you don't belong to Liberia, it's up to you. But the comment was wrong. And I think he should come to the Liberian people and say, I'm sorry for what I have said. People might consider it as an opinion, but opinion has some legal issues. His opinion is so dramatic. Opinion that gives other country the opportunity to utilize they could. I'm trying to rightfully put my word here. Yake opinion could give Guinean the opportunity to be used against the Liberian people. Yes, like the sitting representative said, the land is for Guinea. So yes, Yake needs to come out to the general public and speak and say sorry. But when it comes to what they do in the House of Representatives, I don't think it deserves that at this point. That sometimes there can be a second chance. I think that you should give him a second chance if he comes out and apologizes to the Liberian people. That's how I see it.
But there have been public outcry that the behavior of Yeke warrant his expulsion. We've seen other media outlets also posting whether Yeke should be expelled or not. But I think I agree with your point that in some circumstances we need to have second chances. But then Yeke himself has been heard on public in the public that he will not apologize for his statement. If it does so, something should happen to him. If he stands with that statement, would you support the House of Representatives' decision to expel him?
Yes, Junior. If he stood by what he said, that means he's meant it. That means he's not Liberian enough. Let's be honest here. Sometimes let's put politics aside, okay, and have a real national conversation based on nationalistic standpoint. This is our country. Junior coming out to say in the midst of all of these, for someone who we rely on then to come out and say that the piece of land that we have to say is for the people, and he's not saying, "Oh, listen, I misspoke," nothing like that, and he says it's too bad. Junior, if he does, listen, we have to do what we have to do. people might see it as politically motivated. But yes, sometimes politics is not a stupidity. Whatever comes from out of your mouth in a criminal justice, they say um, you got a right to remain silent. Whatever you say can be judged against you in a court of law. So Yeke, at this point, whatever he has said, it can be used against him. But since he decided not to, if he decided not to come to the general public and say, I'm sorry, it means that, for me, that's my opinion, it means that he's not Liberian enough. There's time we speak and there's time to remain quiet. In the case where our country is at stake, no matter how we disagree with each other, no matter what we say to each other, we can't wash our dirty clothes outside of the box. I think Yeke is doing too much. I don't care. Again, whatever he says to Liberian people, I don't care. But to go above and beyond to telling the Guinean that the land is for them, which he has no proof, it just sounds stupid to me. I don't think it's right.
It has been nearly 1 month now, and we are told that the Guinean forces are still stationed at the Sodoma port of entry. What do you think is still holding the government back, especially when it comes to informing the general public about the unfoldings in the area?
Well, Junior, I think that again, we need to be careful, no matter how hard this situation may be, how difficult it might be for us. I don't think, yes, maybe people will say Liberia is weak, we don't have this, we don't have that. But again, from what we have experienced as a country, and we have not fully recovered yet, we can argue that we don't have the manpower. We can argue that we don't have whatever it takes to fight. But again, I think when it comes to fighting, weapons alone cannot make it. It has to be trained. You have to have a trained manpower. Sometimes you can have all the weapons in the world. When you have trained manpower, they can undercut you. Okay, so my thing is we have to be careful as a country. We are being provoked by the Guinean government. Everybody cannot be mad at the same time. We need to be careful. We are still recovering. Liberia has not recovered since 1990 up to now. It's just now Liberia is picking up a little bit. So we not want to get into a fight. It's easy to destroy, but it is difficult to rebuild. We are the living example. Look at our country, it's still in fragile. Things upside down. Everybody doing their own thing. When we get into another war, I think there will be no Liberia because it will be crazy. And our people now, their mind is not even into how we can make Liberia better, but everybody is in there for their pocket. So when we get into another one, it will be a tough. We're already in a loose society. When we get into another one, what is society will be like? So I think we should take time. At the end of the day, they will retreat and they will go whosoever behind this thing. They will get tired. We'll have a peace and we'll have a good country to live.
Today, the superintendent of Nima County, let's take us to our next conversation. We are two here tonight. So the superintendent of Nima County, Superintendent Colmy Apet-Gono, upon her return from the U.S., she had a press conference today with journalists from Nima. And the reason why she called for the press conference was to condemn the way in which Nibadians and other generals from Nima have been engaged in the issue from Lofa County. According to her, Liberia is fragile. So the fact that Nibadian will be attributing the situation in Lofa, some will be saying if this thing is in Nima, they would have seen who Nimarians are. Some will be saying we'll protect Nima to the full. She condemned those statements. And I want to ask you, what say you? And the next thing she also spoke on was the 20% given to the affected communities. When I say affected community, I'm talking about those people where Asilamenta is doing her money. The Solowi, the Makento, 1 and 2, Liagbala, Kiamfo, all those places are considered affected communities. And now Asilamenta is expected to give approximately 2 million to Nima County. Now, in the 2 million, 20%, I'm sure 20% is given to the affected community. Journalists asked her today, the affected community people, citizens have been crying that they do not know how the bidding process of their projects have been done, and they do not know how much these projects cost. She also said they met those situations there, but they will see how best they can resolve it. Do you think a lot need to be done for the affected community, especially those places where Asilamenta is doing the money? And also, what do you make of her statement condemning those people who have been saying, if this is Nimari, we are seeing our true colors?
Well, I think we discussed this issue, the statement from our folks, the ex-rebel leaders.
Yes.
I think we discussed it last time, and I think it was clear. I said to us that I don't think it is prudent at this time for those interviewed and to be conducted, taking microphone to our ex-rebel leaders to make comments about the situation unfolding in Foya. It's not, I don't think it's a good thing to do. And again, because the reason I say this, I would not say I condemn them. I don't think it's a good idea. The fact is, if it's true, it's Liberia, but it's also happening in Lofa, and the Lofians, since the reaction with the young people, they have been calm on the situation. They allowing the government to do its work. So if we on the other side of the border coming out to make comments, which other people that mostly been affected are not making those comments, we as Liberians, we need to be careful. And the reason is the war that came to Liberia, with the Nimba people were involved. And I don't think it is, yes, we fought for what I would refer to as maybe, for lack of a better word, freedom. At the time, things were not right in our country. Our rights were somehow limited. So yes, we got into those things to make sure that we be in a better position as a citizen, and recognizing that we are all Liberians, so we can't separate Nimba from Liberia. So we stood up for ourselves, and at the end of the day, it resulted into over 250,000 lives, I believe, were lost. So with the Nimba people, it is time for us to be careful of what we do and how we do it, what we say and how we say when it comes to those kind of things happening in our country. We have been seen as a warrior, troublemakers and stuff in our country, but people who don't know the history, they call Nimba people the troublemakers and all of that. But if you read your history well, I don't think we are, but we shouldn't show to the people that yes, it's true that we are. Jay, 1 second.
And so, folks, if you are just joining us here this evening, you are listening to the Heat Tower program. On the Heat Tower, we see a dialogue and our confrontation. We see words and not bullet. On tonight's edition of the Heat Hour program, we are discussing varieties of issues from Nima County, ranging from the superintendent interview today with journalists in Nima to the statement that was made by other people in Liberia. We'll also be discussing all of these things. We'll go for this break, and when we come back, we'll rejoin you on tonight's edition of the show. Stay with us and keep listening.
Yeah, sorry, Junior. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Yeah. So again, Nima, we have to be careful of what we say. I would say we should give the government a chance to run the show and make sure that Liberians are safe and be peace-loving people. When it comes to the 20%, Junior, I'm not sure how the math was done mathematically. Is the 20% enough for the affected community? That is a question that we need to ask. I don't know. I have no clues. I don't know how those community has been really, really seriously affected. But what can 20% do? Is it going to build their houses? Is the 20% going to build a medical hospital? Or what would the 20% do for the people that are being affected? What would they do with the 20%? What is it intended for? These are things that we need to ask. It's not all about the money. It's about the utilization of how we're going to utilize the method of utilization. How do we utilize this money? And how can it really help those people? Not for people to go and sit down and make noise on it, and then at the end of the day, those folks, I don't know how deplorable their lives are at this point. But if it's intended for certain thing for them that will change their life around, yes. And if it's enough for them, let it be used for that purpose. It shouldn't be Nimba people putting their hands in it to put in their pocket. Let the money be used for them. Whatever it's intended for. If it's just to build a little bit of bathroom, let them build it. If it's just to clean up the whole place and make it decent, let them do it for them. I don't want for Nimba people to go, the 20% of million, 2 million, it's a little bit of money, but it's how much it is to change people's lives around. But again, I look forward that I got confidence in Cole. Let Cole spearhead the thing. Let her do the good work for the people that are affected in our community. Everybody can't be in the same situation, and Liberians people are looking, especially in Nimba people, just that side of the place is just looking messed up. Jim, I will be glad if the money is used wisely for them to change their life around a little bit.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. We'll go for this break, and when we come back, we may dive into another topic for discussion here tonight. Still with us.
The stability and the progress of this country. That's what we consider.
And life under your time was tough.
No, I don't think so. Life has always been tough. So even our time was tough, but it's now tougher and maybe toughest under the current circumstances. You open your line and ask the Liberian people. No, so for me, people will say I'm being subjective. So Liberian people can better answer that question. In fact, they now have they had 12 years of Madam Salif, 6 years of CDC now. They are in the 3rd year of Unity Party owner President Bakai. So they can speak to the differences. But in my opinion, life was tough during CDC time, but it was not as tough as it is now. We're not breaking homes. We were not displacing people in their own country. We didn't harass motorcycles. We didn't seize thousands of motorcycles. Up to today, the government, the police cannot give account of those motorcycles that were seized. So that has imposed additional hardship on the suffering masses of Liberian people.
They also argue that during your time there was a period when
petroleum products were difficult to be found. Rice
That was a
was
shock.
difficult to be
No.
found, and that placed people in hardship.
Julius, we need to be honest. Honestly, in the national discourse, that the issue we're discussing about the French ambassador, President Macron, and all that, it's a simple issue. You know, government should have some level of integrity, transparency, and accountability. If it didn't happen, why even wait? If somebody lists a story, Front Africa lists a story that you know is not true, you categorically debunk it. And we have one of the discussions when somebody is insinuated that President Buya has spoken to President Macron.
No,
that
someone
was
was not insinuate. High-level partisans.
no, that's
of the party.
no, that's insinuation because
They were running with that stuff.
No.
And they weren't just insinuating.
No, so-
they were reporting
Julius,
what they believed
Julius.
happened.
Julius, again, you should understand the context. The context here is that it was debunked.
Yeah, it was.
Timely.
Mhm.
So that's the issue. That's the issue. The issue is the accountability, the transparency, and the integrity and the honesty in dealing with this matter. And even
Okay, yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Let us clear the toughness because I was just trying to ask for the bill of health of
No.
the CDC and
So,
all of that.
Julius, I will tell you that the CC government time was better, far better than what we are experiencing today, with all the empirical evidence of the sufferings, of the violations by the government, of the demolitions, of the beatings, the seizure of motorcycles. The government is collapsing its own economy in less than 2 years, in just over 2 years. The government have virtually paralyzed the whole country, and the government is hurting itself. And that's why I tell people, the government will implode on its own incompetence because you don't lead a country and you think you lead a country with so much arrogance, you think you know everything. No, you are in error, and it's being clearly shown by the results that we are seeing today, to the extent that the competence of the government has been internationalized with the border conflict, because you allow.
Why you just be jumping over?
No, we're jumping over.
No,
So-
don't be jumping. We're going with those things.
But
systematically.
you leading the business, so I
I
gotta deal
was
with the
asking you for the bill of health of the CDC. How is the CDC?
CDC is very well. There's a national resurgence of the CDC. When CDC lost the election, that was one of the lowest periods of the CDC, losing, governing the country, doing everything.
Have you
Julius,
bounced back from
Julius,
that?
yeah, let me go learn now.
Yeah.
CDC lost the election, that was one of the lowest points of the CDC. After governing the country with passion, with integrity, with honesty, but apparently
With allegations of corruption too.
of course, there will always be allegations of corruption. There will always be allegations.
Allegations of bad governance.
So now you got to juxtapose those allegations what's obtaining today. It is a stark difference, and the CDC is far outperforming the Unity Party government when it comes to the issue of accountability, when it comes to the issue of rule of law, everything, governance. Because the CDC was not disrespecting Supreme Court rulings, like in the case of the current government. The CDC was not removing people from integrity institutions. The CDC was not breaking down the homes of ordinary citizens, sending the police. How does the police get involved in private matters to the extent of demolishing the private properties? Massively, it's
Let's hold CDC Chairman Anthony Janga Code there too and say welcome back to the show. Mr. Sam, we do not have much on our plate here to discuss for the full 2 hours, but we will play the interview that was conducted today with Janga Co. It's approximately an hour plus. We're going to play it here, but let's hear you from your end, your parting words before we take leave of you.
Listeners and viewers, that tonight we're just touching base. It's not a whole lot going on, but we will be back fully tomorrow. I'm pretty sure the 14 will be here to discuss and issues. But it is great to be with you guys. I want to say good night to all of you. Those of you who are listening, it's always good that you guys take your time to be here to listen to us. While it is true that we can't not do this with all you people. The time you take to come online, I know when you guys don't see us, you're always thinking what's going on. We are here. We will be with you. We got lot of things to discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is going to be really juicy. Don't stay back. Come on so we can have a good discussion tomorrow. It's happy Monday. Monday is a busy day. You guys can see I'm really tired, so we just make it. I just come here to speak to you people a little bit. But we will talk tomorrow. You'll have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. And of course, listen to Janga Ko. Janga today he had an interview on OKFM and a lot was said. So let's play Janga Ko there before we go. We will be playing you this clip. Stay with us and keep listening.
Documented, we have almost, I think it's maybe close to 200-300 page documents laying out, hearing from participants, hearing from the structures of the party that indicates where we went wrong. And we have been systematically taking steps to correct those areas. Although the Unity Party, upon its ascendancy for the second time, took it as a project to dismantle, to erase the CDC, forgetting to know that the CDC it is not just a building, it's an ideology, it's a philosophy that lives in the people. The CDC is closely linked to the downtrodden masses of Liberians. So yeah, so you see, so what you see obtaining and the failures of the government and the CDC being strategic in approaching national issues, we are sufficiently documented of the violations and the excesses of the government. The government went ahead on a bogus and to quote orders to demolish the CDC national headquarters. A new national headquarters, ultra modern national headquarters is coming up under the CDC. And definitely there's a national resurgence of the CDC, and it can be clearly seen that we are going to democratically boot out the Unity Party government.
Talking about your headquarters, is it the only place we have, or you have somewhere else that you have big events? Because it is, I could just squeeze my head around it.
Well, so again, the headquarters.
So is it going to be your office space and you have somewhere else for?
So a headquarters is a headquarters, and so you allow the building to finish, and then you see what we have there, and then you will make a determination.
But it doesn't have a big yard.
So the issue, it doesn't have a big yard like our previous headquarters, but we are in negotiation with a surrounding property, so the headquarters will expand. The spirit of the CDC have that expansionary, something about it. So you will see the CDC that people will be voluntarily give their spaces around there. So people who are worried, more than us who are owners of the headquarters, they are in error. You should focus on governing the country.
I am a journalist asking you. It is not other people asking you.
No,
I'm asking you if it is going to be, because I know you have this knack for trying to pull a whole lot of people in a space, and you can bear me witness that that's a small space in terms of so that is why I'm asking if you have in mind for that to be the administrative headquarters, and then you have somewhere else that you have a big program.
So anything can happen. But what we can say is, that is our headquarters. We are watching.
You don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I was hearing, I don't hide things that I hear. I was hearing that there is a land space not far from where your old headquarters was, like coming to former President Sirleaf's side. So there is some kind of vacant land that you may be in negotiations.
The government will begin to target all those places.
So you're trying to hide?
No, we're not hiding, but the government is so irresponsible that it takes upon itself to go to the headquarters of the major opposition, demolish it in broad daylight, even cut down a tree maliciously
Because no, it was not a big cost. It was a private person that you had issues with
private-
in terms of land, and so
private-
the person had to take possession of their property.
That private person must be very powerful. That you can amass hundreds of government troops. You imagine how
Police
government
officers.
troops- No, so Julius.
Police serve and protect.
Julius.
They were doing their work.
No, they were not doing their work. They were hardly on doing that. They were not doing their work. Their presence at the city center that day was excessive abuse of power. It was provocative. It was intended to kill people. We did not provide them that opportunity. There's no way a private land dispute will involve the deployment of hundreds of troops when they had not, if there had been the serving of precepts on the CDC and there was resistance, and then you call for backup, it would have made sense. But on the first instance, when you are sending sheriff, you send the sheriff with troops upon troops. No, that was very irresponsible on the part of the government.
No.
And the fact that you even superintended the destruction of the headquarters, even though the government was put on notice, the Supreme Court, which was in transition at the time, maybe the Supreme Court had not been in transition, the headquarters would not have been demolished because two appeals and they were perfected and before the Supreme Court. Technically, under the Liberian Constitution, there should have been no demolition, there should have been no eviction. Because even as we speak, that case is still before the Supreme Court. So, why even win the case tomorrow? Can the government restore the tree, the sycamore tree that was destroyed? No. Maybe they can build the buildings, but they cannot restore the sycamore tree.
But will you be on course for the 1 year period I was given that within a year the headquarters were being completed?
Yeah,
are you on course?
The project is well on course. The project is well on course, yeah.
At the weekend, we saw pictures and videos out of Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. What was really happening there?
Well, the CDC that we said we have been working in quietude. Some of us do not believe in noise making. When it comes to working, we believe in action. What you saw in Buchanan is just a small thing when it comes to the resurgence of the CDC. And that was just Buchanan district. And that was the assembly of the leaders from Bon County, from Margibi, Montserrado, and Grand Bassa. And that was just the leadership of one district that you saw being inducted in Buchanan on Friday. And it also saw the launch of the M2B2 movement of the CDC, which is going to serve as a catalyst to catapult the CDC to national leadership come 2029. And we can tell you that the level of organization that you're going to see associated with the elections in 2020 are going to be very, very superlative. And we're going to shock the Unity Party and then boot them out from power that we did in 2017.
Now, I'm still concerned. You said, I know what, a quadruple something like 4 counties. Yeah, give us a rationale behind that.
No, so if you again, we do not want to begin to put our political strategy out there. But if you see the 4 counties involved are one of the 4 biggest counties, apart from Nimba and Lofa. So we have assembled those counties and we are going to use them as catalysts to propel the CDC to power. And so we are forming a close relationship in the leadership of these counties, working together collectively, because Montserrado borders Margibi borders Grand Bassa, and Margibi also borders Bon County. So you see, those 4 counties are a powerhouse towards delivering CDC decisive victory come 2029. And you saw what obtained in Buchanan.
I saw pictures. I wasn't there.
You had reporters there, didn't you?
I don't know.
No, you don't have.
I wasn't there.
Julius, you have reporters in Buchanan.
What happened there? What happened?
Julius, you have reporters. Yeah, you are you are on a journalistic obligation to
No, but
tell
tell us
the
what
people.
happened there. You are right here to say.
So you have reporters there.
But
Can you confirm that you have reporters there?
No, I am the interviewer. You are the interviewee.
No, you are.
So I should be asking you, but you're trying to ask me.
No. I'm just trying for you to confirm.
No, I don't want to answer you because I'm the interviewer. So you You tell us what happened there.
Okay, so because your reporter was there, already most of the things were live. But basically, the CDC unveiled the quadruple alliance of M2B2. You know, and we want to thank the leadership of the 4 counties, especially the leadership of Grand Bassa. You know, Honorable Janje Bapa, former superintendent who now happens to be the chairperson of the CDC in Grand Bassa County. That's just one district, and that what you saw in Buchanan on Friday is going to be replicated around the country. We want to thank our key party stakeholders who are very instrumental in helping us put out. And what you saw, Senator Nathaniel Falo McGill. Senator McGill was the guy who led the CDC in 2017 to defeat the Unity Party. And so he's on the front line, being a city senator of Margibi County. He's on the front line, and we are teaming up to make sure we deliver decisive victory for the CDC come 2029. And I want to thank him very much. I want to thank all stakeholders who showed up, former government officials of the CDC who traveled from Morovia to Grand Bassa to grace the occasion. I want to thank the leadership of the 4 counties, Margibi, Bong, Montserrat, and Grand Bassa, for this splendid show. And we're going to show you, we're going to show the Liberian people, we're going to show citizens who over the last 2 years have been worried. And our strategy basically over the last 2 years was to give the Unity Party government sufficient space to actually lead the country. And if the Unity Party had taken the Liberian people seriously, they would have governed the country properly, and by now they would have been had the kind of an appreciation. But due to all the bad governance that started the leadership with, denial of His Excellency President, we are lending rights, denying use of the airport VIP terminal, Speaker Kofar illegal removal, turning positions, NAFA, Governance Commission, LTA, all of these things set the government up for the failure you're seeing today. And the illegality in the current government is just so much that they do not even respect the court rulings. They disregard all the court rulings. And that's why we want to use this opportunity to say the government must commission an impartial investigation as to what led the immediate reason for the border crisis.
We're going to come to the border.
Yeah.
Don't be rushing that. We still dealing with CDC. Since 2024, I've been hearing about a county tour of former President Weah to go to the county, send people in, interact with people, and all that kind of thing. We're in 2026. Yeah, we saw you went to Bassa. It was not the county tour. You just perhaps we're trying to test the waters with your M2B2 or whatever it is called. But what is happening that this tour hasn't happened? What is going on?
So again, President Weah will make his county tour, but in the absence of the county tour, President Weah is in touch with all the CDC structures on the ground. President Weah is in touch with the people on the ground. President Weah is sending emissaries and foot soldiers. So we should have done the tour, at the end of 2025, and you saw the destruction of the CDC headquarters. So there have been some strategic realignment when it comes to priority. President Weah and the CDC priority now is the completion of the headquarters. While President Weah is mandating party structures to be engaged with the people. So we are engaged with the people on the ground. I have been to the Southeast 2 times. I have been to Western Liberia. So the CDC leadership is engaged. So President Weah, has men that are on the battlefield that are leading the charge. And the Liberian people, I can assure you, are feeling his impact. They're going to see him.
That still doesn't stop the need for a county tour.
The county tour, that's what I said. The county tour is going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, county tour is the planning process. Yeah,
that is all we hear every year. You're not even sure when it will happen.
No, we are very sure that it's going to happen towards the end of this year, and is because our strategic national priority now, because when your home is demolished, when you do not even have a place you call a home, the citizen's home was demolished, maliciously by this government under the guise of a Googles, quote and order, and so you don't have a headquarters. You have to focus on the completion of a headquarters, so that Liberian people will understand that the CC headquarters you just oppose the two, because county tour is an activity, it's a fun fair, you go, you taking the people whining and dining. There's no man that go to sleep when your roof is on fire. You know, that's an African proverb. You cannot go to sleep and go to start merrymaking. County tour, you're taking the people, you'll be merrymaking, but then you don't have a home. You don't have a national home, no. So our strategic priority is a land such that the party headquarters is the primary objective of the CCC now, and the president has mandated for soldiers. So you see us going to the field, we're going to Grand Pastor upon the president is structure.
Former president.
Yeah.
Now,
doesn't really matter. Former president is president.
We also saw pictures and videos of Representative Yeke Koluba together with you people. So quite interesting.
Yeah, so
ironic as well.
So Yeke Koluba is a member of the opposition. So whenever
he strongly supported this government against you vehemently.
Yeah, he did.
Quite outrageously too.
Yeah. So again, let me be frank, like I have told people, and some of us don't support some of the things Yeke Koluba does, like the way he speaks sometimes. But that is the moral compass that was set by the current government. And so even though we may disagree with what Yeke says, the way he does some of the things, but we are obligated to defend his right to do his politics the way he did it before and it was embraced. You know,
I'm not sure if he insulted at that event, but do you people or what led to him going there? Did you have a conversation and say, oh yeah, you can be critical, but you don't need to insult a certain words or insult women? Did you have that kind of conversation?
We would not try to sanction Honorable Koluba. Honorable Koluba is an elected lawmaker of the Republic of Liberia. Honorable Koluba was elected in 2017. And his politics was embraced by the Unity Party. The Unity Party highlighted as the best lawmaker ever. So it's quite ironical that today they are.
But you did not like that.
Also, like I said, it's never right to insult and all that. So if I was telling Yeke, I would say, oh Yeke, you don't have to insult in your politics. But that level of politics was embraced by the current government. So we defend Yeke right any day to do the politics the way he sees it. The day Yeke feels that he doesn't have to do his politics that way, it's left with him. But this government cannot today try to punish Yeke for the way he speaks. No, we will defend Yeke with every ounce of our blood because it is his right.
We haven't reached there yet.
That's not reached where.
Where are you going about what the possible explosion of the legislature? No, we are going to come there. We haven't gone there yet. I am systematically doing this interview. I'm saying you did not like his style of politics, insulting women.
It doesn't matter.
All of that. No, I'm saying as a whole.
No, listen, Julius.
Yeke
was opposition.
Wait for me to ask the full question.
But you don't allow me to answer.
No, let me ask the full question. Then I'll give you the chance to kind of answer.
Okay.
So, that means what they were doing, in your view, wasn't right. What stops you now from doing it differently than what Unity Party did in opposition to say, okay, Yeke, we know, Representative Koluba, that you can be critical, you can be as tough as you want, but we want you to avoid insulting women, insulting leaders, because it doesn't set a good example. That is not what we stand for, even as we defend your rights. What is stopping you from having that conversation?
So again, let me repeat myself. So, like I just said a few minutes ago, that we do not condone anybody insulting the president.
That's what everybody says.
So yes, we do not condone it. But this government, while it was in opposition, you say they eroded the country moral so much that they embraced Prophet Key. They embraced Henry Costa insulting everybody. They embraced Yeke insulting. They did it. Now we can.
So you also want to embrace?
No, Julius, you gotta allow me now.
Yeah.
You gotta allow me to. You are trying to interrupt my top flow.
Go ahead.
Quite unjournalistic.
It is quite journalistic.
No, it's quite unjournalistic. Yeah. Because I am the interviewee here, and when you ask me, so when I'm asked a question, I should be allowed to deal with the question. Otherwise, then it's going to become a monologue, and no, that's not good. So let me say categorically, we do not support any Liberian insulting leaders. No, but since that's what has been established by the Union Party government, we will defend people's right to say whatever they want to say, even though we do not condone it, but we defend that right because that is how the Union Party came to power. So they are getting a dose of their own medicine. They got no moral ground. They got no moral ground to question anybody. They got no moral ground to question Prophet Key. They got no moral ground to question Honorable Yeke Koluba. So Yeke reached the point where he will try to detune. It's not for him. It's his constitutional right. The Liberian Constitution provides for freedom of speech and being responsible for the violation thereof. So if you think Yeke has committed any crime, you can take on him. But attempting, and it's quite hypocritical to even try to say you want to remove Yeke.
We will get to that point when we come to the border thing. Do you want to have a moral ground tomorrow just in case the CDC, hold on sir, the CDC is elected to power and people start to insult leaders and women and all that stuff again? Will you want to have a moral ground to say something about that?
Julius, I just say on this your platform, we do not condone people insulting leaders.
But you
will defend their right to freedom of speech and provide for under the Liberian Constitution, and provided for under the Table Mountain Declaration that decriminalized speech.
I get that, sir.
Yeah,
and that's why I asked a very important question. What is wrong or what is stopping you as leaders of the CDC that Representative Koluba is associated with to have a sit down, a conversation?
How do you know they have not been a sit down?
And that's why
I'm saying it on your platform here publicly that we do not condone.
No, say that you do not condone.
The CDC does not condone that. President William does not condone that. We do not condone anybody, whether it's Yeke Koluba, anybody insulting the presidency. No, we do not condone that. But since the Unity Party has set the basis that that's the direction in which they want to direct the campaign, you are interrupting.
You said that it was okay for Yeke to also speak that way now because they will be getting a dose of their own medicine.
Of course. A lot of them, they embrace whatever Yeke did. At least we have the moral fortitude to say we do not agree with what he's saying. Before he was held, you heard the current information minister who said he will vote for Yeke over his own mom. Even though, Uncle Yeke Koluba insult and other things was in the public glare. So that's an issue. We do not support it. We do not condone it. But he has a constitutional right. Anybody who feels that he has violated the constitution or the laws of the country, take into court.
Have you had conversations with him about that point?
Come again?
Have you, CDC leadership or those of you who went on that trip, have you held conversations with him that, we don't want you doing this, especially when you're
some people have told Yeke, you can do so, you can say so.
I'm not saying people, I'm saying you are the politician.
Of course.
And of course, you were aware of his going there. Have you held conversations with him about that?
Of course. I'm telling you, we have periodic conversations with Yeke. But again, we defend Yeke right to do his politics the way he sees it. And the United Party government has got no morals to question what Yeke does.
We are certainly
because that would be very hypocritical. The border issue.
What is your understanding of what's happening with the border? What does the party know so far, and what are your views on it?
We issue our statement on the border issue, calling for an impartial investigation. And the government seems it's not even going that route because we are informed that there were illegal mining activities on the Makuna River. The Makuna River is a border river between part of Guinea and Liberia, and we are told our information points to the fact that there was the possible reason for the border crisis was the mining of the Makuna River, and we condemn the mining of the Makuna River in the strongest, and we demand an immediate, impartial investigation into why there was dredge on the Makuna River, why the Makuna River was being mined. We are calling for an investigation to establish whether the government of Liberia issued any mining license for mining on the Makuna River. If there was no mining license issued for money on the Makuna River. We expect the government to do the right thing to bring and do an impartial investigation to establish, the illegality of that. That would be the first demonstration of good faith in resolving this particular border issue. Because border rivers are not a river that you just go and do money on. You are from Maryland. Have you seen either the Ivorians or the Liberians money on the Kavala River, Julius? Or do you see you're not interviewee? Have you seen for the last hundreds or more years? Have you seen either Liberia or Arab Coast trying to mine the Kavala River? No, people do fishing there, joint fishing and everything, but to attempt to mine the river that forms the boundary between two countries. That's recklessness. That's been very irresponsible for any government.
The same money I am told has been happening in Lotha. In that river to build some of the homes in Foria.
Well, it's wrong. But it's a border river. You should not mine it. There are other several rivers in Lotha that you are going to mine. You want sand. Yeah, but we are told that it's beyond sand mining. So that's why we need the government to commission an impartial investigation to establish, what really, went wrong. Who issued the permits for the mining on the Makuna River. Because that was the primary reason for the border crisis we are having today. That action by Liberians or by Liberia to put dredging on the Makuna River to mine it has created an international crisis that is creating.
What do you make of the government's response?
The government response is feeble, it's poor, it lacks transparency, it lacks accountability. And it's a demonstration of the continuous lack of governance that it has demonstrated since 2024. Because by now, because they suspended money. Suspending money on the river is just one thing. But what's prompted the money in the first place? There should be no money on the Makuna River. So that is the issue. So they owe it to the Liberian people, to owe it to international partners, to owe it to even the neighboring countries as to what triggered the mining on the Makuna River. And we think is the government is exporting lawlessness. They've got to go to begin to mine the border river. It's a clear demonstration that the government is not interested in the rule of law. And they are taking that so far to the point that they allow people to go dredge on the Makuna River, knowing very well that it's a border river and spark problem. It's like putting dredge on the Kavala or the Mano River, even the Mano River. No, people dredge on the Mano River, but these are border rivers that are governed by international law.
Now we have Guinean soldiers on portion of our land. Why should the government do about that?
So the government, they have an obligation to resolve the issue. And to resolve the issue, like
what
I said,
would be your advice?
So to resolve our advice, we issue a statement, commission an immediate investigation. Because if the Guinean see you, commission an investigation, holding people accountable for mining the Makuna River, they will say, oh yes, because that will demonstrate that you have some level of respect for the rule of law. But the Guinean may be thinking, how can Liberia, a country, the oldest independent country in Liberia, violate international law by allowing the border river to be mined?
But now they're not. It is not more about that. They're saying that river, including the land there, it is for them. So do you see that as a justifiable reason to come into another country, even if illegal mining was taking place? They had seized the equipment and all of that. People had gone in. There were conversations that were already happening. Does that justify coming into another person's territory, stationing army personnel there?
Again, we have from the beginning condemned, the incident of Guinean crossing into Liberia, but at just one point.
But they are
so we need to establish what prompted they are coming. Because we have existed with Guinea since Guinea independence. We got independent before Guinea. There has been no time where Guinea has crossed. So I tell you, if Guinea is crossing into Liberia today, we should be asking ourselves. We should not be blind patriots. No, we have an obligation to demand for our government answers. And then the Guineans will be like, oh, Liberians are serious, Liberian government is serious. But if Liberians are complicit and they are doing reckless bravado, we understand the people encouraging ex-combatants and all the kind of things. No, that's not the way to go. You must deal with this issue within the confines of international law, because the Guineans have evidence that you have a dredge on the Mapuna River, and you must first, as a government, endeavor to deal with those allegations, debunking them, and then engage in the necessary diplomatic channels to make sure that the questions that people are asking, those questions are answered. And of course, the government, we don't understand why the government not have troops, at the border. So that's another thing. I do not really want to go into the details of that, because those who border on national security, they may have their own national security, but the governments are wondering why you got troops that are being trained, AFL. Why are you keeping them away from the border? The AFL is trained to protect the territorial integrity of the Republic of Liberia. This is the first time, to the best of our knowledge, this is the first time we have had a hostile encounter with any of our neighbors in this one. Besides the allegations about neighboring countries being used to invade Liberia and vice versa and all that. But this is the first time where, in plain sight, a foreign army have been deployed on Liberian soil, and the response you can see is so feeble. But again, the government maybe it knows what it's doing, but what we are asking them to do is to first establish what in fact led to the mining of the Mapuna River. Okay, that will serve Liberian people to understand why we're trying to solve this problem. Why did we even create this problem? Because we have resisted with Guinea for the last since Guinea independence, and we have resisted since 1847.
In the midst of that, Representative Yega Kolba made a statement saying God is not making new land, so the land for Guinea has come back for their land. That seems to be landing him in trouble with some of his colleagues. They think the comments undermine national security, and the appropriate way of getting to him would be either a suspension or an expulsion from the legislature. That may be discussed tomorrow.
Again, the legislature is demonstrating lack of seriousness to begin to try to pursue Honorable Koluba on account of those comments that he made. I mean, those are his opinion, and he's entitled constitutionally to those opinions. He's saying, even if he tried to say, the land does that, would that make the link, the land will be done to Guinea? Is he an authority that can he single-handedly cede Liberian territory to any foreign power, any foreign government? So those comments, speech in Liberia is decriminalized. You cannot prosecute anybody for things that they say. Speech, and Julius, is decriminalized. So unless you can show,
he is the leader. The Guineans will use that as one of the enemies. In fact, one of the lawmakers. That's
a childish comment that the Guineans will use. Statement made by Ombojeka Kolba. No, that's very childish. That's very childish. I mean, somebody trying to rely on that, and it's not a Guinean thing that they're trying to get to Yeke for. They're trying to get to Yeke because they think Yeke have been critical of the government. They don't like Yeke's politics. But we are telling you, you have an obligation to respect Yeke's right to free speech, because you embraced and supported Yeke's politics yesterday, and you got no moral ground, no legal ground today to try to chastise him or to try to do anything to him. So we'll be working along with our lawmakers to make sure that any such bill, any such attempt will be strongly resisted legislatively. And I can tell you, Yeke understand the laws of the legislature.
I think 49 votes are needed to expel him.
Yeah.
How can you assure the public that your CDC lawmakers will not be part of the 49?
Well, again, we will be mandating our CDC lawmakers to not be part of any plot to punish Ombojeka Koluba, because there are more serious things happening in this country. The first thing the government needs to do, the first thing the legislature needs to do, is to commission an inquiry as to who put a dredge to mine the Mapuna River. Then we'll know that the government is serious, we'll know that the legislature is serious. They should commission an inquiry. They should be inviting the Minister of Mines now to find out who gave, and there should be some accountability rather than trying to get into attack on Ombojeka Koluba for comments that he has made.
Now, On issues of development happening in the country, we have seen a portion of the yellow machines come in, and according to the government, very soon, in months to come, they will be deployed to the counties that will help to ease the road issues throughout the country. Do you commend the government for that? So that's a bold, big move.
So the first thing, the government is confused. When it comes to the issue of the yellow machine, it's going to be one of the most embarrassing things for the government. The yellow machine is going to be one of the catalysts that will unseat this government, because yellow machine themselves means nothing. Yellow machine means nothing. So buying a yellow machine means nothing. Have they deployed the yellow machines? And
They will.
They will?
Yeah.
How long the yellow machine been in the country? Yellow machine been more than a month. Where are the yellow machines? So we call you investigative journalists to follow the yellow machine. We are getting information that the government does not even have resources to deploy the yellow machine. Not to operationalize the yellow machine, but they do not have the resources to even transport the yellow machine to the various locations that is there. And we even have information that they didn't even bring all the yellow machines. So you see, the Unity Party must govern with transparency and accountability. They brought some trucks, and people are even saying the yellow machines are refurbished. And we will be trying to investigate that if the yellow machines are refurbished.
Who the we? You said we will investigate who the we?
We are stakeholders. We are the major opposition, so we got the right to investigate. We want to investigate. So if the yellow machines are refurbished, there will be high level of defect and the deception. It will be a violation of the procurement laws of the country, because the procurement laws of the country does not support the procurement of second-hand equipment. No, it does not. And so that will be a serious violation. And we have been told that some of the refurbished people were identifying them.
Well, those are unconfirmed allegations.
Yeah.
That we don't know what the truth is in there. So it should remain as such. Until
you are on
investigation.
You are on obligation to investigate.
No, but you have started, why?
So
we play our part? You have said that you will investigate.
Yeah, we will. But again,
so wait and do your investigation before you can conclude.
So it will be a good thing for the Liberian people. It will be a fulfillment of your journalistic responsibility if you were to do an investigation, because that will appear to be an impartial investigation. We want to do our own investigation. Our investigation will be politicized. We'll say, "Oh, CC trying to criticize." No.
I am saying, why not wait for the investigation to be done before you conclude? But you say
conclude.
You have concluded that they are refurbished.
No. I didn't conclude. I said we have credible information that the machines are refurbished, and we expect the government to issue a disclaimer that these machines are not refurbished. When we establish that they are refurbished, there must be the accountability. And we already know that the procurement process has some very serious issues, and so we are documenting these things. And like I said, the whole yellow machine concept is a stark departure from the Liberia post-war infrastructure development model that is private sector-driven, public-private partnership. But it will be for Liberia to go back to 1950, where they want to take on the thing of constructing roads. No, you do not have the value chain in place. You don't have the technical know-how. You don't even have the drivers to move those equipment. You don't have the infrastructure. You don't have the infrastructure. The infrastructure for road construction by Ministry of Public Works was long abolished in the 1970s. So post-war Liberia has moved to a private sector driven. What the government should have focused on was to ensure that contracts are given, they put the governance process around it, make sure there's value for money. But the government is not a competitor in the road sector.
Well, maybe the government did its own research and then realized that we want to make all of these roads in the interior passable. And because of all of the delay tactics and everything else, we get directly involved, bring in the machines, and relieve our people from the burden of bad roads. That, of course, is innovation, isn't it?
No, it's not innovation. This decision is a bad decision. It was politically driven. It was knee-jerk. It was not the result of any systemic or systematic review of Liberia infrastructure development model. It was not anything associated with a study compared to see exactly where are we, what are the challenges in the current arrangement that we have, and so the other machines were coming. No, there was no. They did have they published any such report? No, Julius, and we challenged them. We challenged the Minister of Public Works to publish any the assessment report. No, it was a new job, and they woke up one morning because I was not part of the campaign, arrangement of the Unity Party. No, it was something that just came into somebody's mind, and I think initially it was intended for money making for some people in government, as evidenced by the fact that it came from 80 million to around 20 million. That's a clear demonstration that it was intended for money making. So after the backfire from advocacies from civil society, from the political opposition, from people like you, and then they changed the whole thing around, and now they say, oh, they brought the price down, and they have brought the machines, and there's total lack of accountability. Besides even the fact that they do not have the capacity to deploy the machine, they do not have, the government does not have, the Ministry of Public Works does not have, because to run each of those machines, you ask the public ministry, what does it take to operate one machine in the locality? Because one machine here, how much manpower? We are creating a new cost center. We are creating a new cost center. That new cost center that's been created is going to take away resources from vital services. It's going to take away resources from roles that are really, really needed. The political, you don't do roles just for politics, no. Okay. You want to do roles for politics, who are, try to go to jump over everywhere, go to President Williams, no. CDC get road development system marketed. That's why when you talk about the South East road today, they try to claim credit. No, we systematically attack the roads in Nimba, and those roads were almost complete. And that's why today the South East is accessible to the
one from the one from Ganta to Saclay was now almost done. Yeah. It may have been around 15 to 25%.
No,
it was not almost done.
It
was started. It got
so
you can say it was almost done. The one that was almost done is the one from Sanibole to Logua to where you have only the bridges and the ceiling. That's it. That is understandable.
Julius, before a road project starts, it means that all the finances are in place and everything. So the work will be delayed because of weather condition and other things.
No, in this case, it was because of money.
No, money because the funding will have been secured.
It is the one you as a government needed to put there. I'm talking about the road from Ganta to Saclay. I have investigated that road enough. There was certain money that you needed to put there. At the time you
that's
not put it there. That's why it was funded.
That's not true. Do your research.
So, but I have done it already.
The government of Liberia, through the partnership with the development partners, or paying money for the road construction through CCRAM, and those monies were remitted on an annual basis.
At certain point, yours wasn't coming in.
No,
that's okay. So
you can find out. That's the reality.
Let's come to a lawmakers of Capitol Hill. Are you relishing the way they are, or do you like the way they're engaging with issues of the government? Your government was under constant pressure of Capitol Hill, highlighting significant issues with fervor from the side of the opposition, even though they were not meaning, but they could create the necessary positive noise to ensure that certain things didn't go through or didn't pass you. But are you getting that kind of vibe from your lawmakers?
So what we can say, our lawmakers could do better, because they are elected to serve the Liberian people, call on them to be more robust. You saw. So again, I see the performance of lawmakers at the legislature is it can be attributed to the political configuration of the country. When you are elected to the legislature, you no longer hold binding loyalty to a political party. Now you listen to your program, becomes an option whether you want to do it. There can be no consequences. Who will expel you, who will suspend you. It doesn't take away your salary. You don't lose your position. So we think as we go along, there's a need for us to have a national conversation on making sure that political parties can exert more control over their lawmakers. That will make them, when a party say, okay, do this in the interest of the country, they'll be compelled to do so. So under the circumstances, we encourage them to do more and encourage them to do more. That's all I can say, Julius.
Okay. You encourage them to do more.
Yeah.
Good. We want to go to the phone lines. I want more interactions from the public with you. You know, that's why we give you that more time to be able to hear from your partisans, from other Liberians, people from different parties, so you can judge you get a pen? You have a pen?
Yeah, I got my pen.
Yeah, so you jot down the concerns. 777-700-995-555-995-995. The numbers to call. Let me read some of the messages first. I'll give you enough time today. Okay, this one has the messages. I'm seeing probably was man calling. Wait, how come to wants to. Okay. This one says, I struggle to understand Chairman Cole's position on the Yeke irresponsible statements on the Lofa situation. Is the chairman telling us that Yeke's statement about getting only portion of the land in Lofa is justifiable? Does the chairman know the security implications? Imagine if Yeke had made that statement CDC administration as an opposition if the situation was in the reverse. Daniel Tente. With all due respect, I want to disagree with the chairperson's decision to defend Representative Yeke Kolobas from warranted actions under the guise of freedom of speech. Regardless of that right, such conduct should be firmly rejected by overwhelming Liberians. The chairman should be man enough to condemn Representative Kolobas' actions without any condition. If we considered such behavior unacceptable yesterday because it was against President William, we must remain consistent with that position today. Whether it now targets the Unity Party, CMC, MPC, ANC, etc. in the future. Above all, the presidency must be respected at all times, regardless of who is occupying that office. UG Kwame Williams was written in that message. Everybody says you will be shocked, contrary to the position of Chairman Cole. All CDC lawmakers will overwhelmingly vote to expel Yeke Kolobas. Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Yes. Go ahead. Let's hear you.